everybody, thanks for joining me today with Stamping with Loretta. Today is the third in my series for beginners, and I'm really glad that you stopped by today. This one's going to be fun. It may be long. I'm going to start watching the clock, so if you actually see me look at myself in the viewfinder, it's on purpose to see what time it is. I may have to split this into one or two. We'll see how far we get. But today you're going to need to gather up a few things before we get started. And if you don't already have them, it's a good idea to buy them because you will use them over and over and over again. And some things are disposable, like rubber gloves. But you absolutely need rubber gloves for this project, or this ink will stain your hands. We're going to do some alcohol ink techniques, okay? You're going to need some glossy cardstock, your rubber gloves, a craft mat. If you don't have one of these, go get some tin foil or some newspaper or something for your craft desk, okay? It's really not hard. You're going to need a re-inker of some kind to make your own alcohol ink, which we'll get into, a bottle for your newly made alcohol ink. Now, if you own them, go get you, buy them, or you know, if you have some Copic re-inkers, whatever, or just alcohol ink in general. These are Ranger inks. Go pick out your favorite colors for this technique. I'm using Willow, Sunset Orange, and Raspberry. I'm also going to use some Mix It Up, which is this silver. Hear that little ball? You need to mix it for about a minute or two. Okay, I'm going to save you the trouble of listening to that. We may still have to do it again. And some blending solution. Do you need blending solution for this project? No. Rubbing alcohol will work just fine. Don't let people tell you lies and make you go buy expensive stuff that, you know, 75-cent to $1 bottle of rubbing alcohol will work perfectly well with this. So, you know, I'm telling you, it will work. And it will do just the same thing as the expensive stuff does, okay? So I'm going to adjust the camera and we're going to get started. I hope you're going to like this. Okay, I also want to let you guys know that as a general rule, this project, you're going to really need to wear something over your clothing, your husband's old shirt, something that you were going to put in the rag bag. Do not wear nice clothes to do this technique because, for one thing, it's going to get messy. These inks will stain your hands, they will stain your clothes, and we just don't want that to happen. So let's zoom in. Oh, that's the wrong way. Okay, now we have our glossy cardstock. As you can see, it's shining right there. And we are going to take some felt and we're going to take some alcohol inks for this project. You're also going to need one of these little whatever handle things. You don't have to have one. You can actually make it work without it. So just pretend like this isn't here if you don't have one. You're just going to put your little pad right there. And you're going to take your alcohol inks and you're going to put them on. Remember this silver Mix It Up? I'm going to mix it up just a little bit, and I'm going to put a line in the middle, right there, like that. And then I'm going to take my orange. This is Sunset Orange. I also picked up my Willow, which is right there beside the orange, and I put Raspberry on either side. Now for this part, I do recommend the Ranger alcohol blending solution. This blending solution, even though it says it's alcohol, it is alcohol, but it has a stabilizer in here. I'm not really sure what they stabilize it with, but rubbing alcohol will work, okay? But all you're going to do is you're going to squirt that onto your pad until it muddles up, just like that, okay? And we're going to take it directly to our paper. As you can see, I got it way too wet. And we're just going to blend it down, just like that. Okay, I didn't really like this one that much, so we're going to experiment again using some different other colors. And so this time I'm going to pick up my butterscotch yellow. If I can get the top off, right? And it's going on just a puddle. A little bit goes a long way, a few drops, okay? Then we're going to use our gold again. Now I like lots of gold in mine. So it's just going to have a streak of gold, silver. I like gold too, but hey, you know, this is our project. We can do what we want. And some orange. No rhyme or reason, as you can see, okay? Now we're going to take our alcohol solution, our blending solution from Ranger, and squirt that on. I'm going to let that sit there for a second because I know it's over inked again, okay? But that's okay. Oh, I like this one better for what I'm doing. Okay, and now it looks like this. I'm not sure how well the shininess is picking up on the camera, but it's really pretty. Now what we're going to do with it is we're going to make a card. But before we get to the card, I want to show you how to make your own alcohol ink. Okay, to make your own alcohol ink, you need something to put your ink in. This is actually a glass tube that I purchased from Science Glass International. It has a cork. Okay, you're going to need a re-inker of some kind, a dye-based re-inker. This is a retired Stampin' Up! Red re-inker. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to shake that re-inker up. Even though these are highly pigmented water-based inks, they do tend to sink to the bottom. So a little shake is always a good idea. According to how saturated you want the color and how big your bottle is, that's how you're going to judge it. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's a guessing game. You mix it until you like it. I'm going to put 10 drops of ink in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? So you can see it's just at the bottom of the vial. Put the top back on your re-inker. The last thing we want to do is spill this all over our table. Okay? Now, I do not have any alcohol down here in my craft area, which is unusual for me. So I'm going to use my alcohol blending solution from Ranger, and I'm going to put some in here. I'm going to fill it until this tube is about halfway full. Oh, there it is. And I'm going to put the cork on it. Shake it. And I don't know if that deep red is showing up or not. In an ideal world, we would set this aside and it would sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. But I don't want to sit here and wait 10 to 15 minutes, so we're not going to do that. Okay? Alright. I'm going to shake it up. As you can see, I'm going to shake it up. And we're going to take our applicator, which mine came off. I don't know if you guys see that, but that will happen on occasion. When I'm finished with this project, I'm actually going to take some E6000 glue and I'm going to put that back on, okay? Right out the camera range, I do have some felt. You can use felt from your husband's shoe polishing kit. It's the same stuff and it's probably cheaper. Or you can buy some cheap felt. There's like 29 cents a sheet for a big old sheet of it at your craft store. I'm going to reshake my ink because there have been a couple interruptions in this filming. Chad just came home from school, so we're going to see how this color looks. I'm going to use a lot of silver. I really puddled it up on there, guys. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm going to use this red that I just made. This should be a really, really deep, almost a blood red. We'll see how it comes out in a minute. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to use my actual alcohol ink, the orange, just so you can see on this paper that it's going to react pretty much the same. Okay, now we're going to take that blending solution. Like I said, you can use rubbing alcohol, it will work. And I'm just going to saturate that. I'm really oversaturating it. A few drops, a little dabble-do kind of deal. And we're just going to push that on the paper. And I'm just using little swirly motions, little circular motions here to get it down. And I actually like this color enough to be using it on the card we're going to be making in just a minute. So here it is. So there you have it. Okay, I took the opportunity to clean off my mat with a baby wipe. You can also use hand sanitizer or the Clorox cleanup wipes. If that doesn't get it up, a damp magic eraser will do it. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this in frame. There we go. This Sucks. That's the name of the stamp, and she is drawn by Jazz Higgins. She is a Queen Cat design stamp. Please go check out our store. Like I said, this is part Design Team Post as well as Beginner Series. I stamped her onto Copic Express It cardstock using Ranger Archival ink. Two reasons for using Ranger this time instead of using my Momentum. Number one is it's a really dark black. It dried really quickly and nicely on this cardstock, and I can also use it on my glossy paper if I choose to do so. So I have pulled out some Copics. Since I'm coloring on since I'm coloring on the Express It cardstock, I do not need to necessarily, let me get that better in frame. Hold on just a second, folks. Okay, that's a little bit better. Since okay, there may be a little bit of gap there. If there is, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can edit that out or not. But since I'm using the Copic quality cardstock, the Express It, I am going to color this with Copic markers. I'm using R39, BV13, G17, B17, C7, and RY09. Now this is a really unusual color combination because it's a very unusual stamp, and I don't necessarily want to overcolor it. And so we're going to start working with these unusual colors to go with our project. She looks like she's having a bad day to me. Poor baby. I know how she feels. We just got back from vacation. We had a wonderful time in San Diego. We just really beautiful weather. We got back late on Monday night. Yesterday was spent just cleaning and getting the house back in order. As you can see, I'm just using long flicking motions. I'm not really blending anything together. I want this image to reflect the fun whimsy that it has. It is not an overly fussy stamp. I think she'd be really fun. I'm really into some more artsy, fartsy kind of stuff. I love my cute stuff, and I will continue to do that. I made a trip this morning and went to my local scrapbook store and my local stamp store. They're one and the same, but it's the one closest to my house is called the Queen's Ink. I will try to put her information down below. And I had a really nice time. I took a lot of pictures. I should try to post some of those too. We'll see. Okay, now her hair is done. Kinda. Okay. Like I said, I want it whimsical. I don't want it overly colored. Okay. Now I'm going to use my V17, and I'm going to color her eyes purple. I've always liked the combination of purple and orange. It's very fall colors. They're also indicative of Halloween, even though this image could very well be considered a Halloween image. I think she's just really fun. I think she'd be kind of fun on a dream journal. When you're having a bad dream, she can go on the page that represents bad dreams, or she can go on the page that represents your favorite vampire book or movie. I know a lot of you guys love those. I'm not a fan, but I'm not going to judge you because you like them. I think it's great anytime you can read and learn and do. Your life is more enriched and the world is a better place. This is R39 that I'm using now. And I'm going to go in with some C7. I'm not sure how dark this is going to be. It's going to be really dark. Okay. I just want to highlight a little bit of her face and bring that darkness back up towards her brow this way. Okay. So it's also a good place if you happen to have your stamp missed a spot. It didn't stamp completely the way you wanted. It's a good time to fix that. So there we go. Now I'm going to use some of this green. This is G17. just right here underneath her chin and down her neck just a little bit. Okay, so our image is colored crudely. Like I said, I don't want it to be perfect, and I'm going to get some stuff together for our actual card. Alright folks, this concludes part 1 of 2 on my of my beginner series. This is the 3rd in the beginner series, the part 1. So look for my second video when we complete the card using this kind of a polished stone technique with alcohol inks and glossy cardstock. So I hope you'll join me again in just a few minutes, and stamp happy, be a blessing. Talk to you later. Bye. Centers can be whatever color